Oh, yes. So before we begin, how many people here know who I am? Let's start with that. Show of hands. A few of you. Okay, we got a few of you. Well, as the General Washington said, I am Thomas Paine. I may have written, well, I wrote a little pamphlet you all may have read. Has anybody here read Common Sense?
Oh, I was
One, two, the greatest selling pamphlet in the colonies, and I have 3 or 4 who've read it. It's all right. It's not spread to this part of the territory. That's all right. That's all right. Well, I was born in 1737. Now, Washington said he was a kind of a middle class. Anybody want to take a guess what class I was born into? Take a guess. Take a guess. Lower class. I was born into poverty. I was born a nobody. My father was a staymaker. Anybody take a guess what a staymaker is? Any guesses?
corset.
A lot of people think it's corsets. Yes, a lot of people think I was apprenticed to be a corset maker. No! A stay maker on ships, the main rope that holds the rigging up is called a stay. I was apprenticed to make ropes for ships. I wasn't very good at that. Washington spoke of the taxes. Those of you who have read my work, more of you should, fantastic work, I will share it with you in a minute. It was the taxes that sparked this current unrest. It was. I was enraged by it. Does anybody have any idea why I may have been enraged by it? Had nothing to do with the property. I was a nobody. My land wasn't threatened because I didn't have any. Believe it or not, I worked for the British government for their tax system. I got to see up close and personal how the colonial government has robbed us and continue to have robbed us. All of us, yes. They even robbed Cornelius, the town crier, didn't they? They threatened you. Anybody else been threatened by the current tax system?
Yes.
Yes, right here. What did they threaten of yours?
I don't remember.
You don't remember, but they threatened it.
Yeah.
They threatened it. They threatened you. Right? The Vincennes Quartering Act. Something else I have railed against. What gives an occupying power 3,000 miles away, not even close to us, the remote idea that they can come here, steal our money, knock on our doors, demand that we house them, feed them, clothe them, but not even so much as a buy your leave. They won't even say thank you.
Yeah.
Not a lick will they say thank you, let alone compensation. Anybody imagine how much money it takes to feed and clothe and quarter troops? Much more than any of us here probably have. It would probably threaten the finances of even wealthy people, such as General Washington. I know he says he's middle class, he's wealthy compared to me. So, I failed at making rope. I obviously failed at tax collecting. I don't like robbing people. I was a failure until I turned 40. So if you are younger than 40 and you think, I have done nothing, don't worry, there is hope. And my hope came in the form of an eccentric gentleman by the name of Benjamin Franklin, who I'm sure all of you have heard of. Yes, is that a nod of a head? Yes. I arrived in Philadelphia, and by a letter of recommendation through Dr. Franklin, he hired me on as a writer for his magazine, Philadelphia, where I would write my famous pamphlet, Common Sense. Now I had success. Couldn't make it making rope, couldn't make it stealing people's money, but I could write something. And that something apparently inspired the entire country, which is where we are today. And since so few of you have heard of me, I thought I would share some of this, as we are in the midst of a war. These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too low. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. Heaven knows how to put a proper price upon its goods, and it would be strange indeed if so celestial an article as freedom should not be highly rated. Britain, with an army to enforce her tyranny, has declared that she has a right not only to tax, but to bind us in all cases whatsoever. And if being bound in that manner is not slavery, then there is no such thing as slavery upon this earth. Even the expression is impious, for so unlimited a power can belong only to God. I ran into a British soldier earlier today. Don't worry, I let him live. I'm not armed, that's Washington. And he dared ask me how I could challenge the very system that God has put upon the earth. That somehow God has given the divine right of king. But are we all not creatures of God? Made in the image of God? And I told him right and straight, don't we have the right to determine our own destiny? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. You sure you guys aren't loyalists? I'm really proud.
For the cause!
Yes! Oh, say it louder than that. Come on!
cause!
For the cause! For the crown!
Boo! Down with the king!
Who gave you this land? Your king did!
What king?
I didn't vote for him.
In fact, a greater pamphleteer than I, Thomas Jefferson, who I'm going to assume everybody has heard of, I hope so, because he wrote the Declaration of Independence saying that we have no king yet.
We have no king!
That's right! We have no king. We have our rightful representation. The people who are standing up for us are people like you fine folks, who are willing to put it all on the line for liberty, and who send people to your state and colonial capitals. Excuse me, I need another drink. As I said, this is thirsty work, folks. Don't worry, it's water. I haven't gotten that riled up yet.
Soon.
That'll be later. Soon. Anyway, it is you fine folks who are sending fine representatives, your friends and very neighbors, to make decisions for our land and our people, rather than once again people 3,000 miles away looking down their nose at us and making decisions for us, what we are going to do, without even so much once again as a please or a thank you. Now, if I may continue. Whether the independence of the continent was declared too soon or delayed too long, I will not now enter into that argument. My own simple opinion is that had it been 8 months earlier, it would have been much better. We did not make proper use of last winter, neither could we, while we were in a dependent state. However, the fault, if it were one, was all our own. We have none to blame but ourselves. But no great deal is lost yet. All the town has been doing for this month past is rather a ravage than a conquest, which the spirit of the Jerseys a year ago would have quickly repulsed, and which time and a little resolution will soon recover. I have as little superstition in me as any man living, but my secret opinion has ever been, and still is, that God Almighty will not give up a people to military destruction or leave them unsupportedly to perish. Who have so earnestly and so repeatedly sought to avoid the calamities of war, but every decent method which wisdom could invent. Neither have I so much of the infidel in me as to suppose that he has relinquished the government of the world and has given us up to the care of devils. And as I do not, I cannot see on what grounds the King of Britain can look up to heaven for help against us. A common murderer, a highwayman, or a housebreaker has as good a pretense as he. See, I'm converting some people. That's right. That's right. Let me hear it. Yes.
Yes!
Yes. It's surprising to see how rapidly a panic will sometimes run through a country. All nations and ages have been subjected to it. Britain has trembled at the report of a French fleet of flat-bottomed boats, and in the 14th century the whole English army, after ravaging the kingdom of France, was driven back like men petrified with fear. And this brave exploit was performed by a few broken forces collected and headed by a woman, Joan of Arc. Would that heaven might inspire some Jersey maid to spirit up her countrymen and save her fair fellow sufferers from ravage and ravishment. The ladies here, are there any ladies willing to step up and be the Joan of Arc that we need in the colonies? None of you. You will let us rot before a king. Disappointed. Well, you look ready to ravage. Are you ready to ravage the king? Yeah? Yeah? Well, come on, give me a little comment. Yeah. Yeah, come on, show me some, show me your anger. Yeah. There we go. One is willing to stand up. Ma'am, are you willing to stand up to the king? That's right. What about you? You willing to stand up? You ladies here, you willing to stand up? Yes, no, stand up. Stand up for it. Yes. For the cause. For what cause are we fighting? I don't know. What cause are we fighting? I don't know. We are fighting against tyranny, liberty, the right to rule our own affairs.
Yeah.
Rather than be subjected to the whims of a king. I don't know about you, I'm certainly not a king. Anybody here a king? No.
Nope.
No. We have no king here. All we have is our hope, our prayers, and our collective fighting spirit, which I'm not sensing much of. Our fighting spirit! Fighting
Woo!
Liberty! Liberty!
Liberty!
Liberty!
Liberty!
Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Woo. Tough crowd, Daddy. Tough crowd. We done?